May I request you all to kindly rise? Please be seated. The highest education is that which does not merely give us information, but makes our life in harmony with all existence. By Gurudev Sri Rabindranath Tagore. A warm and delightful good morning to all the esteemed educators present here. Honorable Chairman, Dr. Sivakumar Manikam, Board of Directors. To our distinguished resource person, may I invite Mrs. Sanchita Verma, Principal, Indian School, Sohar, to do the honors. Thank you, ma'am. May I now invite Mr. Prabhakaran, Principal, Indian School, Al Mabela, to present a bouquet to Dr. Sivakumar Manikam, Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools, Oman. Thank you, sir. Tamasoma Jyotir Gamaya. From darkness, lead me to light. Let the lamp of education and knowledge illuminate our minds and intellects. Just as physical light dispels darkness, the light of wisdom and knowledge eradicate the obscurities that shroud our perceptions and minds. May this act of lighting the lamp help us conquer darkness and forge ahead with renewed optimism. May I request Mr. Saji S. Nair, officiating Principal of Indian School, Muscat, to accompany Chairman Dr. Sivkumar Manikam, Resource Person Dr. Sudha Acharya, Mr. Vijay Sarvanan and Mr. Krishnendu, Directors on the Board of Directors, Education Advisor Mr. Vinoba, MP, to light the lamp. Thank you, sir. An innovative leader, Dr. Sivkumar Manikam, has 30 years of academic leadership. Mr. Vinoba MP is an excellent academician with a track record of more than 30 years of experience in educational leadership. With his academic expertise, Mr. Vinoba strives to enhance the quality of Indian school system in Oman. May I invite Mr. Vinoba, Education Advisor, Board of Directors, Indian Schools, Oman, to accord a formal welcome.
Dr. Shivakumar Manikam, Honorable Chairman of the Board of Indian Schools in Oman, Honorable Members of the Board, Dr. Sudha Acharya, the resource person for today's program, Mr. Saji S. Nair, officiating Principal of Indian School, Muscat, Principals of various Indian schools in Oman, Vice Principals, Assistant Vice Principals, HODs, and teachers. A very pleasant morning and a very warm welcome to all of you to today's professional development program. I would like to slightly rename it as Personal Professional Development Program, because at the end, I'm sure it is going to be added to your profile, because this is going to enrich you and as well as add more value to your profile. At the outset, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, the benevolent leader of this great country, for having provided us all facilities to educate our children here in this beautiful country. Also, I would like to thank Ministry of Education for having given us support all the time. We also have our Vice Chairman here. I missed out. Vice Chairman Mr. Shamir PTK. Welcome, sir. Now, on behalf of the Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman, and also the entire Indian schooling community in the Sultanate, I would like to extend a very cordial and warm welcome to Madam Dr. Sudha Acharya, the renowned resource person for today. We couldn't find anyone better than Madam to give this training to our teachers. Ma'am, thank you so much for being with us this morning, despite a lot of your personal and other difficulties. I know Madam was not well when I spoke to her a week back. Later on, her family members also fell sick. But despite all, this is what we really call commitments. Commitments to the field of education. Madam finally said, yes, I'm coming. And we are so glad that you are here, ma'am, today. Madam is also chairperson of NPSC, president of CBSE, Sankalp Sahodhya, and also a very renowned CBSE master trainer who has a versatile experience in the field of training. You know how we remember Madam Sudhacharya? Because Madam had conducted a workshop for our teachers, a training session for our teachers in 2019. If you remember, at least many of you, we organized a capacity building program for 2 days at various venues in the capital. And Madam was one of the resource persons who was remembered by one and all, even today. So we are so grateful and thankful to you, ma'am, once again coming back to us and give education, sharing your wisdom with our teachers, including me. I'm also a teacher. I'll be also learning from you today. Thank you so much, Chairman sir, and the entire board for giving us this facility. I think we being the host, I'm not officially welcoming you, but I welcome the rest of the people on behalf of all of you. My humble request to all the teachers and principals, especially to the teachers, see, that there is a minimum number of training required to be completed by every single teacher who is working in the CBSE system. 50 hours of teaching a year. Now, today, when you attend this session, here, offline, as well as those who are attending online, you will be completing 8 hours of out of your 50 hours. What is my request to all the teachers, those who are physically present here, as well as those who are listening to me far across this place? Please calendar your program. Please ensure that you keep 50 hours of your other routines, especially for enriching yourself, because CBSE really wants it. Today, the importance of attending this training is, you may be remembering, many of the parents are a little worried. What is this NPS, what is the National Education Policy 2020, and what is it going to be the implication on the teaching and the learning area, and what is National Curriculum Framework, NCF. These all are very regularly our parents ask us. So unless otherwise you are getting any authenticated information from resource persons like Madam Sudhacharya, you won't be able to explain to them. So at the end of the day today, I am sure you will be able to give a clarity on National Education Policy as well as NCF. So I am not taking more time. this day, because this day is supposed to be of Madam Sudhacharya's day. Madam should not lose any single minute. Madam, once again, a wholehearted welcome to you to Indian schooling system, and we are once again grateful to you for being with this Simon. I also extend a warm welcome to all of you, the principals, vice principals, and HODs and teachers to attend this session. This will end by 5 o'clock. It is a long session, but you will not regret at the end of the day, because the takeaway is going to be very rich and very enriching for you. Thank you and have a good day to all of you.
Thank you, sir. An innovative leader, Dr. Sivakumar Manikam has 30 years of academic leadership experience across teaching, research, and administration. Dr. Sivakumar Manikam has configured Indian schools on the needs of students and the abilities of teachers, which has enabled him to provide well-rounded academic foundations that support the cultural and global competencies. May I invite Dr. Sivakumar Manikam to address the August gathering. I request Mr. Saji S. Nair, officiating principal of Indian School Muscat, to accompany the chairman to the stage.
Dr. Sudha Acharya, a renowned resource person and master trainer from CBSE. My colleagues from board, Mr. P.T.K. Shamir, Vice Chairman, Mr. Krishnandu, Mr. Vijay Saravanan, and Mr. Vinoba, MP, Senior Principal and Education Advisor. Principal in charge, Mr. Saji Nair, principals from other Indian schools, vice principals, HODs, my dear teachers, very good morning. And I'm pleased to be part of this program where the resource person from CBSE conducting such a very important event in our professional training program. And as you all know, as a teacher, when we handle students, we are, transforming every child in our best ability. I do remember a cartoon in which a mother explaining a child, see, this is sun, nobody can touch it. The child was asking the mother, even my science teacher, can't she touch? So this is a confidence that the children do have with us. So in order to maintain that, I think it's our duty to equip ourselves, to prepare ourselves and deliver the best based on what is required at this stage of time. You know that during those days when children were just depending on textbook and we were delivering lessons to them, the job was pretty easy and straightforward. But after the advent of internet, Google, and so on, the scenario completely changed. Now, at this point of time, after the introduction of ChatGPT, the entire teaching fraternity is going in a different direction. So I would request all of you to understand how our students do learn, and we have to change ourselves, modify ourselves so that we meet their expectation and requirements. I think as a teacher of Indian schools in Oman, and you have to be the best in the profession, and you all know that most of the profession, the CPD, continuous professional development, is very important. It's a part of the licensing requirement. Many profession, if you don't attend such programs, we may even lose our license. So as CBSE has started off with the compulsory or mandatory training hours per year, so I think it's a very good opportunity for all of us. And from Board of Directors, we would ensure that you don't miss anything what is happening in back home. So we are taking every effort to be in touch with CBSE officials, to get trainers like Dr. Sudha Acharya, to make sure that you are keeping yourself ahead of what is happening across the world. So I wish you all the very best to make sure that to get what is best possible from this training program, and looking forward to get your feedback as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our esteemed resource person for today's session. With a wealth of knowledge and experience in education, our resource person, Dr. Sudha Acharya, will definitely enlighten and equip us to navigate through key areas of the National Education Policy 2020. Ms. Sudha Acharya, a dedicated and resourceful professional in the field of education, is presently working as principal, ITL Public School. In her role as a principal, she has expertise in curriculum design, technology-based educational development, multi-criteria assessment and evaluation, multidisciplinary approach towards academic and co-curricular activities. With exceptionally wide knowledge on administrative skills and implementation, she has also carved a niche on pedagogical inputs based on the theory of multiple intelligence, inclusive education, differentiated learning and instruction styles, physical education and curriculum, value-based integrated teaching, life skill development and programs for teachers' development and well-being. Her extensive exposure to the IB, Cambridge and CBSE curricula has empowered her with a diverse and innovative approach as an academic leader. As a Vice President of Association of Special Educators and Allied Professionals, ASEAP, her contributions in the field of special need children's education is immense. Ms. Acharya is a keen learner and constantly upgrades her knowledge on latest practices in education. She is associated with CBSE as a master trainer, counselor, and involved in curriculum designing. She is passionate about child-centric education, wherein every child is unique and can thrive in a comforting and caring environment. She conducts workshops as a senior resource person on gender sensitization, inclusive education, mentoring, and motivating staff. She is a recipient of Global Human Rights Protection Award given by the Indian Institute of Human Rights, National Human Resource Optimization Award given during the 33rd World Management Congress. She has voiced her valuable opinion in different national television channels on emerging issues like anti-bullying, cyberbullying, teacher-student relationship, stress management during exams, etc. As we gather here to learn and exchange ideas, I am confident that our resource person's expertise will inspire and enlighten us, providing fresh perspectives and cutting-edge insights. So without further ado, let me welcome Dr. Sudha Acharya, whose expertise is sure to enrich us today. Over to you, Suparna ma'am.
A very good morning to one and all present here. Without taking much time, because as Vinoba sir said, we should not lose even a single minute from Madam Sudha Acharya's sessions. And I personally am looking forward to the session very eagerly. So I would just like to give a brief breakup of the day's proceedings. Before I start, a humble request to all of you, kindly put your phones on silent mode. To start with, the day's proceedings has been divided into 3 sessions. The first session begins now and will end at 12, which will be a prayer break followed by lunch. The lunch break will end at 1:30 p.m. Kindly make it to the hall on time. That's a request. Session 2 will begin at 1:30 and will go on till 3 p.m. 3 p.m. to 3:15 will be a tea break, a 15 minutes break for tea. 3:15 to 4:45 will be the third session. At the end of the third session, that is at 4:45 up to 5, is the time to fill the feedback form. If you look on both sides of the hall, you will see there are 8 flyers put up with a QR code. You have to scan the QR code with your mobile phones and fill the feedback form. The Wi-Fi will be opened for you at that time. So don't worry if you don't have data, you will have free Wi-Fi at that time to connect to the internet. At 5 p.m., that is the end of the session, we will all proceed to the ground for a group photograph with ma'am. At the end of each session, that is all the 3 sessions, will end with a short question and answer session. All of you can keep your questions for that time. All those who are watching this program online are requested to post their questions with the name and the name of their school, so that when we are reading the question, we can also read out the name of the school. That's all for now, and I will not like to lose another moment. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Can I have my presentation, please? I gave the pen drive. No problem. A very good morning to all of you. Good morning. So today we are going to find out or explore what is holistic progress card. All of you have must gone through NEP, isn't it? So many times we have spoken about NEP. So NEP 2020 is a very transformative and progressive document which really believes that every child, like ma'am was giving my introduction, I always believe that every child, irrespective of socio-cultural background, or we know that our classroom is so diverse nowadays. Children are coming from different geographical identity, also gender identity, socio-cultural, economic background, even having special needs. So when these children come to the school, as a teacher, most of the time I have heard so many teachers saying that maybe the child is not competent enough to get educated or to meet your expectation. But I believe that if you provide a caring, comforting and conducive environment to the child, every child, God has given that kind of potentiality, every child can learn and thrive. Unless the special need is very severe or not educable, the child is trainable only. So otherwise, whoever is coming to you, parents are entrusting their children with lot of trust, understanding, faith on us as teaching fraternity. So we must believe that everybody can learn and thrive. So NEP 2020 is based on this aspect, that when the children are coming to school, irrespective of their background, what kind of environment, what kind of teaching learning procedure we have to follow so that every child can learn. So when we are talking about school, do you believe school is a place only for honing cognitive capacities or something else takes place? Can I have little bit one mic, cordless mic, so that I can interact, because it's a huge audience. We can't have any ice-breaking activity or something which I planned. So at least we can talk to each other if one mic is there. So school is a place of socialization, I believe, where with cognitive capacities, we are talking about affective, socio-emotional, psychomotor, spiritual, numeracy, literacy, mathematical, computing abilities, all these things it happens. More so, it is a place for socialization. It is a place where leadership skill is honed, where collaborative skill is honed. And we work on these skills so that when they will be the future citizen of India or any other part of the world, or nowadays we are preparing them for global citizenship. So they can appreciate each other's culture, they can appreciate each other's language. Now in NEP, there is a thrust on multilingualism. And children in the age group of 3 to 18 can acquire many languages if they want to. So that's why we are using a word called glocal. From local to global. Wherever, any part of the world you are there, whatever language is spoken regionally or locally or mostly spoken or at home, that is the first language when the child feels comfortable. When they come to you at 3 or 4 years age, most of the children, they speak their home language only. So in cities, like if I talk about Delhi, it's a metro city. So in our school, 13, 14 languages children are coming from home. They speak Marathi, they speak Malayali or Telugu or Tamil or Gujarati or Punjabi, mostly Punjabi spoken children in North India part. So in our school, of course, English is the medium of instruction because it's a public school. And then when children come, if the child is speaking in Bengali, we try to find out of Bengali teacher that what the child is speaking actually, to make him or her comfortable in the school initially. Then maybe we go to Hindi because it's a locally spoken language, a regional language. Mostly in North India, people understand and speak Hindi. So we try to train the child in the second language, isn't it? But first of all, we are trying to make the child comfortable in the home language. Why I am starting with language? This is the first step of expression. How we express ourselves. There is a thrust that the child must read, learn to read, and then read to learn. Learn to read and then read to learn. All of you must have got a circular from CBSE regarding reading challenge day before yesterday. So reading is so much thrust is given. Reading is possible once you acquire the language, spoken language. When you speak, when you read with comprehension, then only you start writing. So language is very, very important, which is given most important aspect of NEP and NCF also, National Curriculum Framework. So when we are talking about pre-primary and primary section, we are giving thrust on local languages. So today when I'm talking about holistic progress card, I'm taking child as a whole child. So a whole school approach with a whole child approach. So we are talking about cognitive, social, psychological, spiritual, moral, and then including your numeracy and literacy aspect. Everything. We are talking about the whole child approach, and this leads to holistic education, all-round development of the child. So holistic progress card is a 360-degree multi-dimensional approach. It has a multi-dimensional approach where self-evaluation, self-expression of the child, peer evaluation, how peers perceive the child, parent evaluation, parents are an integral part of holistic progress card. They understand how their child is learning in the classroom. They are a part and parcel of this teaching learning process, both in the teaching learning process and in the assessment process also. At the end, teacher evaluation. So it is self-evaluation, peer evaluation, parent evaluation, and teacher evaluation. So there is a paradigm shift from report card to progress card. What is the difference? Report card always has a negative connotation. You know, parent always have apprehension when you have PTM, parent teacher meeting, unilateral. Your child is doing this, your child is not doing this, good in this, or not able to do that. That's a unilateral aspect of PTM. So now we have shifted to parent teacher dialogue. So it's not a monologue, it's a dialogue. And nowadays, we don't conduct PTM as such, whole class one day. Like you must be hearing mega PTM in Delhi. I don't believe there. So PTM has to be in small, small group. You divide, you should know the dynamics of your class. You know, so there is a pyramid of your class, who are at the bottom, who are at the middle, and who are at the top. So you deal them differently. The strategy is very, very different, those who are at the bottom of the class. So call those parents separately, or children having special need, call them because they need more of your attention. Children who are gifted, write the lesson plan for senior schools or senior children, there is one part is requirement of any material or teaching learning aid. So for small ones, it is more so required. So what is happening in Holistic Progress Card, we are shifting away from chapter-wise teaching. Like in class 1, 2, 3, we have piloted this Holistic Progress Card. So we have got languages, we have got EVS, which is comprising of SST and science, and maths, isn't it? So we are no longer teaching maths chapter 1, 2, 3, completing all the chapters of NCRT, or English, all the chapters, or SST or Hindi. We are not doing that. What we are doing, it is concept mapping. If your school is 5-section school or 4-section school, all the teachers teaching class 1 will sit together with the class rep, with the class coordinator, with the headmistress, with the wing in charge, whoever are dealing with class 1, all of you will sit together, map the books, maths, EVS, language, all. Find out the concepts which are common. You will find that English chapter 5 is covered in maths chapter 4 and chapter 3 of EVS. Got it? So that's how concept mapping happens. So HPC is making teachers more collaborative. Unless you collaborate, you can't do concept mapping. It cannot be standardized. Got it? Suppose one very innovative teacher is doing all the innovative activities and other teachers are not so. Then it is not fruitful. So all of you have to sit together, and then concept mapping is the first step. So we did that in 2022. Now 2023, again books have changed. So after July, again we are doing concept mapping. So initially, those who were teaching 9th and 10th, CCE, Continuous Comprehensive Evaluation, what happened at the end, it died its natural death because a lot of burden on the teachers. So many things to fill out, so many papers to maintain. So to ease out your burden in HPC, AI is used, artificial intelligence. So when you do it, when you pilot it, CBSE portal has given you AI. So using that software, you can very easily fill up the child's progress card. So you don't have to do a lot of paperwork there. So we are using technology in education, in HPC. So that's the most important part. So first of all, you are concept mapping, lesson plan designing, and everything is standardized. All 5 sections of class 1 following the same concept mapping. So initially, in my case, I piloted it, and I'm the only school in India who has handed over HPC to parents. So that was presented to Prime Minister and Education Minister. It has been inaugurated. Now I'm mentoring all the KVs. So it is happening there. I don't know what is the dynamic of your class. While I was presenting it in Bigyan Bhavan, KV teachers told me that in our class, 55 children they are sitting. So how do you do? Because holistic assessment is based on observation. Observation is the most important tool for assessment. There is another paradigm shift, that is, till now we were assessing children of learning. Assessment of learning. Whatever you taught, you are trying to assess that. You have given the information in the class. Textbook is the guideline. Question answer you have done in this class. Worksheet assignment has been done. At the end of the 6 months or 1 year, you are testing the children. Whatever you have taught in the class, isn't it? That is of learning, nothing wrong. So there is a fashion now saying that rote memorization is bad, rote memorization is bad. It is not bad at all. Retention of learning is very, very important to move ahead. If you don't retain any learning, then how do you apply that? If you just read for tomorrow's exam and then your mind is empty, exam is over. So then later on, when you are moving from familiar to unfamiliar, from concrete to abstract, then how do you explore your knowledge? How do you apply your knowledge? It's not possible. So in our ancient Indian system of knowledge, there is something called Smriti. Smriti means memory. Shruti means hearing. So hearing and listening, there is a difference. You may hear so many things. Do you really listen? Isn't it? When you really lend an effective ear, you are listening with or listening mindfully. You are taking in what is said. We may hear so many things. There are so much noise around us that we hear. So is the child having the skill to listen, to comprehend, to understand, to retain? Then only we explore, experiment, create, evaluate, synthesize, analyze. We go on top, isn't it? This is not possible unless the child is retaining knowledge. So there is nothing wrong of assessment of learning, because you must be hearing everywhere, whoever is speaking, as if in our education system is so bad that it is only assessment of learning, of learning. Of learning is very important aspect of learning. But now we were ignoring assessment for learning, assessment as learning. Assessment for fun of learning, non-judgmental, non-opinionated, non-threatening atmosphere, or we say non-violence, isn't it? So, non-violent assessment, where the child is not violated at all. Every child is accepted, respected, valued as it is. So that is non-violent. We don't say that, you are not able to do this thing. Isn't it? We are violating the child, his values, his attitudes, his capabilities. So that's why assessment has to be non-violent, non-opinionated, non-judgmental. That has to be very, very important. That we have to keep in mind. So assessment of learning, assessment as learning, assessment for learning. These three aspects are important, not only as and for. So when we are around, sometimes you find the child is not able to complete the work, has not done the homework, you start scolding the child. Maybe if you ask, the child is coming from a very different or difficult previous night. Something happened at home. There is some conflict between parents. Something has passed away. We don't think about that. And then instead we just judge that why you have not done the homework. Isn't it? So that part we have to appreciate. So when we are talking about assessment, it is again, I am reiterating that it is as, for and of. Of is nothing wrong. So what you are doing till now is good, but with that we are shifting to assessment for and as learning. So in NEP, you know about the early childhood care education was the first chapter, isn't it? Why? Because 3 to 8 years of age, maximum neural growth happens. Brain develops at the highest speed, I think, 3 to 8. So that is the most formative age. Whatever habits we form, whatever values we give, whatever positive attitude, moral values, whatever we instill, the child is able to imbibe them. So that's why it has been given, the country which invests maximum on early childhood care education prospers the most. So we have to invest not only in money terms, but in terms of time, effort, love, care, compassion with the child. So early childhood care and education. Abroad, when you go in USA and UK, you know who commands the maximum respect? Primary teacher. Pre-primary teacher. They are valued like anything, the most respected citizens of the world. Because it takes so much effort. I mean, you have to go to the child, you have to turn the page, you have to erase the pencil, you have to, I mean, so much effort. As PGT, we don't, because already they have been, evolved. We just give lecture, give website link, go there, reference book, all those things. But that is possible only because you people train them, you people really make them evolve to that stage. Otherwise, it is not possible. When we think that our class 12 result or 10th result is very good, first of all, as a principal, I congratulate the pre-primary teachers. Because pre-primary and primary teachers are the foundation of the school. They are the heart and soul of the school. The best teacher every school should have in pre-primary and primary wing. And that's why the schools really grow and evolve. Whatever, you take pride in alumni of the school. Who are the foundation stone? Pre-primary teachers. Those who take care of them, in their lab. They must be, nose clean and everything they do. They keep on crying when the first day they come. I see the kind of effort pre-primary teachers and primary teachers they do. They are parents at school, isn't it? More so during pandemic, we all took the charge of parenting children. First of all, online class, first thing is that, have you eaten? How are you? Like grandparents, parents, all are sitting there. What is happening? And even mother's birthday also we have celebrated online, isn't it? So we took the role of parents. So why do we say that mother-teacher period, homeroom period, whatever may be the nomenclature, it is in pre-primary and primary, because school is the second home for the child. So who is taking care of the child? Mother. So you are in the place of that. There is no other creation of God than mother. So you are in that position. Value yourself the most. Never think that I am just a pre-primary teacher, primary teacher. You are the most valued, accepted, respected in the society. You are doing so much noble job. So unless you love yourself, you value yourself, and you respect the job you are doing, you can't do justice to the children. Got it? I always ask teachers, are you comfortable? So many teachers say comfortable means, are you happy? Yes, we are happy. Okay, you are very comfortable? Yes. Yes, ma'am, we are in a good school, I am on permanent job, so everything going on smoothly. So same question if I ask you, how many of you are very comfortable and happy? Raise your hand. Very comfortable and happy? Half hands means what? This is the thing. Just now, I had in my school scholar badge ceremony, the prize distribution, those were. So I just said that raise your hand, okay? So class 12 students, 11. Parents. If you ask a nursery child, raise your hand, yes ma'am. You know the difference? As class 4 years of age, when I ask raise your hand is going like that. No inhibition at all. So in class 12, raise your hand. Please stretch your hand. Second chance. So that means, I tell you, you have 100% capacities, strength, potentialities inside you. But all of us are using 60% maximum, 60 to 7. That 30% stretch is not coming at the first go. It's okay. It's not bad. When you raised your hand like that, it's fine. Means there is scope for improvement. You can go ahead, but of course there is a limit to stretch your hand, isn't it? So that's what I mean. As pre-primary, primary teachers, you always have to raise your hand like this, like your children. I will go to the maximum point or stretch myself to take the child to the highest potentialities. When I said, are you happy and comfortable? Most of you, I think 80% of you raised your hand. though not if I am comfortable, if I am very happy, there is no way I'll stretch myself. I'm very happy, comfortable where I am. So, where is the scope for improvement and growth? I'm happy, complacent. It's okay. Those who were not happy or comfortable at least, have you chatted out your next 5 years growth path as teachers? See, even a 4-year-old child is coming, you are showing the world to him or her. You know, you are a dream weaver for the child. You are weaving dreams for the child. You know, you are trying to find out what is the maximum potential. Let me take the child in that path. Basically, from pre-primary stage itself, you are chattering the career path. You are good in this. You have a natural inclining towards music or sports or calligraphy or something else. Isn't it? So you are a dream weaver. You are chattering the career path of your children. Have you chattered your career path? How many of you have thought about next 5 years where you want to see yourself? I have done that at this age also. Next 5 years, when I became principal, so I would have thought, okay, I have now become principal, come to school, manage the school, go back. What else? I have reached the maximum after 25 years of teaching. Now I don't have to check papers, evaluation, isn't it? But till now, I teach economics in class. I enjoy that the maximum. Facing those bright faces, young adolescent, knowing what is happening in their mind, what they think about. So that's the most beautiful part of my profession, I think so. That's most fruitful. But have you chatted out 5 years? Like when I became principal, I thought that let me, whatever I have learned after so many years of teaching, let me share. So I wanted to be a trainer. So I could not be a trainer just like that. I attended, I think, hundreds of training programs. Then I became, because if you want to speak 9 to 5, I think you must have read 50 hours. Isn't it? So that's why I thought that I would be a trainer. Within 5 years, I accomplished that. Then I thought, what next? Then I thought, what next? Because otherwise life will be very boring. I'm not comfortable at all. Anytime. So I'm happy, contented person, but always I try to do something else, which I have never explored. Till now, I think that 40% are still in me. I can do something else. Isn't it? So, if I ask you, next 5 years, what do you, where you want to see yourself?
I would.
Have you ever chatted your career path?
Yes, I have done it. So I was an academic coordinator earlier. Now I'm the vice principal. So probably after 5 years, I would like to be a principal, and also inspired by you, I would also like to be a master trainer.
Very good. Clap for her. So once I visited a school where I met a teacher who was teaching 9th, 10th history. And the teacher was PhD holder, Dr. something. So she's teaching 9th, 10th history. I said, do you have humanities in your school? History as a subject? She said, yes, humanities is there, but history is not a subject. I said, did you ever go to your principal and said that I am a PhD holder, I am here available at your disposal. Please start history. I will teach history. No, ma'am. Do you know the projects Itihas and all those things? You know, so many projects in history, UNESCO, UN, so many things are coming. Are you aware about that? No, ma'am. That means the teacher is so happy teaching 9th and 10th, my result is very good. I always give 100% result. My students do score very well. So that gives her happiness. Do you think she is really exploring herself, experimenting herself? She has become very complacent. While coming back, I told their principal, you have a PhD holder in history, and why don't you start history? Then he said that she never took interest and never came. I said, you do that, you give that, then only maybe she'll be interested. So that is very, very interested. As primary teacher or pre-primary teacher, never think that this is the end of life. Wherever I am very happy and I'm doing very well. You may have a passion for your job. You love the job you are doing. Then only we become happy. But what next has to be there? Because you are dream weavers. How can you weave dreams unless you see dreams? And dreams not while sleeping. Dreams while you are wide awake. Isn't it? So those dreams, you have to live on it, work on it, everything, day and night. Then whole universe will work towards realizing your dream. If you believe in your dream and you think that I can do. So I was talking about myself, I became a trainer, then next 5 years what do? I wanted to be an author. That whatever I have learned, let me share. If I can write. So many CBSE manuals or all those things, otherwise also best practices, I started writing. So initially a lot of inhibition, that whether I can or I can't, like that. But once you come out of your complacent zone, your comfortable zone, and happy feeling, then you stretch yourself and improve yourself. So I would urge all the teachers present here, find out a career path for yourself. Next 5 years, where you want to see yourself and how you achieve that. So many teachers, when I go in India, I say that, have you applied for state award? Have you applied for CBSE award? No, ma'am, we don't know how to. Because all of you are creating magic in the class every day. But do you document it? Have you kept evidence of your work? If I say that what beautiful, the most aha moment of your class, you may be having hundreds of aha moments. Is there anything in the documentation? Have you kept for yourself? We don't think about that. Think about that. Keep this in mind. Today onwards, whenever, ask your colleague, ask your friend, if you have planned and designed something very innovative activity in the class. All of us have mobile. Just keep evidence. Just take from your children, how did they like? Just ask your parents what feedback they got from their children. Ask your colleague how she liked. So you are really maintaining evidence from your colleague, from parents, from students, from all the stakeholders. So unless the school is working towards evidence, so holistic progress card, why I'm coming to this, is based on evidence. Is based on evidence, what you are doing. It's not just chapter-wise teaching. It is completely play-based, activity-based, project-based. There is a difference between project and activity. Do you believe? I'll ask you. Any difference between activity and project? Anybody can tell me what is an activity, what is a project? Project is long-term based, isn't it? Activity can be a short short-term activity. Even if you develop that activity into a project, you can do that. So there is a difference. So HPC is completely based on activities. When I said concept mapping, clear? So concept mapping when you are doing, suppose let me think about a concept called water. Got it? Water, if you are doing, it's a, I think NCERT book class 3, it's a poem given there. So what I have done, concept mapping, maths, measurement of water, got it? Shape of water, source of water, attaching a value, saving water, got it? And at the end, children are able to sing the rhyme of water, and the sports is coming inside milliliter, liter. There is a game. So what I'm doing, and there is a storytelling on water. So stories, there is high five strategy, I always say. Storytelling, puppetry, music and dance, sports, theater. You include everything. That's how it is multi-dimensional. It's not only workbook, question answer, pen and paper kind of assessment. It is multi-dimensional. I'll give you just one example. When nursery children are coming to you and you are giving number concept. Foam, you know foam, you just cut it in any shape. Star, square, circle, triangle, any shape. And just throw it on the floor. And ask a child, walk to 1, run to 2, hop to 3, crawl to 4, like that. What are you doing? You are assessing the child. The child is understanding your command, your instruction, walking down to 1, running to 2, hopping, squatting, everything. So here you are using the words, language also and the number also. Is it very difficult? No. This same concept can be, stretched to 1 plus 2, 8 divided by 2 or anything, any 1 to 100 or language, any part you can do that. So this is small activities which you can do, not much effort, not much money is involved. So you can do that. So it is a play-based and very, very enjoyable, isn't it? So I'll, next slide, whoever is doing. Yeah, next. NEP mandate already I have done. Next, please. Yeah, this is. How many of you have heard about Nipun Bharat? What is Nipun? The full form, National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading, Understanding, Numeracy. So it is talking about numeracy and literacy, Nipun Bharat. Beautiful document. In the second half, I'll be giving a PPT on Nipun Bharat only. But this is only HPC I'm dealing now. But it is starting from Nipun Bharat. The whole HPC is aligned with Nipun Bharat. It's a beautiful document. How many of you have seen it? Soft copy is available. You have seen? I'll show you the PPT on Nipun Bharat also. So this is regarding foundational year of learning. The most important years, foundational years. As I said, 3 to 8 years. Next. This is National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading with Understanding and Numeracy. Literacy and numeracy. If you are following the report of Pratham, how many of you have you gone through? It's a very extensive study on Indian education where it is saying that class 8 child is not able to read class 2 books. How pathetic it is. Class 5 child is not able to do basic mathematical operations. This is the condition. So how to improve upon that? Basic numeracy and literacy by the age of, or age and stage we say, grade 3. Every child should be able to read and write and solve basic mathematical problems, daily life. That is the target of Nipun Bharat. So the child is reading. You can find in the class, in our time, we used to read aloud in the class. Teacher used to ask, you read one paragraph, you read one paragraph, like that. Slowly it stuffed somewhere. Isn't it? And our books were full of word meaning. Underline the meaning, the antonym, the synonym, everything teacher used to say. Now you don't find, books are clean. Isn't it? So somewhere we have lost that way of teaching learning process. So again, because if that is lost, then the child may be reading without any understanding. You find so many children, they read letter by letter, but they don't make any meaning. Got it? So reading with a particular speed. Reading with speed is very, very important. There is a theatrical reading also, with lot of importance on pause, intonation, diction, pronunciation, everything. Theatrical means reading with expression. So when you are reading, are you really reading with expression? When you understand, then only you express, isn't it? Sometimes we listen to music. If I am suppose singing a song in Malayali, maybe I have memorized, I am singing, but actually if I don't understand, that expression will not come in my voice at all. Where there is excitement, my tone is flat. Isn't it? So that happens. So children may read in your class, but without any expression, without any intonation, without any pause, they don't know. So without any comprehension. That is the most important part of Nipun Bharat, that when they read with expression, with comprehension, with understanding. So that stress is there. Similarly, maths is very, very procedural in our teaching practice. You know the table. We just tell them to memorize the table without telling them how they can easily do that. Addition, subtraction. If you heard about Vedic maths, there are so many tricks. 25 square. 5 5s are 25, 2 into 3, 625. So there is a trick there. The square roots, the cubes. Till now, you ask me up to 30, all the squares, all table, everything is in my mind. By heart, I can say. Because the teacher was very interesting. She taught me in the right way. So what is expected from us? Conversation in mathematical language. Do you drink tea? Milk? Yes. How much milk your mother buys? 1 liter daily. Okay. What is the price? 60 rupees. So, we buy a liter of milk at 60 rupees price every day. So, this is a sentence of demand, we say. So many number concept. So, I am talking in mathematical language. Do we really talk to the children, converse with the children in mathematical language? Conversation in number. Conversation in mathematical language is very, very important to appreciate maths. Children, they have to develop interest in maths. It has to be interesting. It's not procedural. You just don't tell them that a plus b square is this. When we reach the destination, your destination may be the child should score 100 in maths. But what is the journey? Is it beautiful? The child is enjoying, developing passion, can converse in numerical language. You know, that is very, very important. That's where Nipun Bharat is coming in. How many of you have seen the learning outcome? All of you are using it. Using it? Have you heard about minimum learning outcome, MLO? MLO. How many of you are teaching in class 1, 2, 3? Okay. So, class 1, 2, 3, I won't say failures, but children do not score as per your expectation. What is your strategy to bring them up? MLO is one of the experimentation which we did, and we minimized failure. We don't say failure, we improved. How? Because readiness to move to the next grade. If the child, nowadays you know Balbatika 1, 2, 3, we'll come to that specially. After that, when the child is coming to class 1, pre-primary to primary, primary to middle wing, middle to senior, middle to secondary and senior secondary. So when the child is coming from pre-primary to primary to class 1, what is the readiness for class 1? Is the child ready? If not, there is a 3-month course devised by the government, NCERT. Got it? Bridge course. So that course is school preparation model. So there, the 3 months, the teacher is taking training and making the children ready for class 1. So when I'm saying that in class 1, those teachers who are teaching in class 1, before moving to the next grade, class 2, have you ensured that the child has acquired the minimum learning outcome. That's how all of you, again, all class 1 teachers sit down together in maths, in language, in EVS, try to devise that these are the minimum learning outcome. Learning outcomes are given by NCERT, chapter wise. Okay, so try to find out minimum learning outcome for your slow learners, for your special need children, for your children who have low grasping power, comprehension power. Every child learns at his or her own pace. You know, they don't learn at the same pace. So if you have devised minimum learning outcome for every chapter, so or concept, then you ensure that this at least the child has to acquire before moving to class 2. Got it? So you are making the child ready for class 2. Because otherwise in class 1, if you have not achieved minimum learning outcome and you are sending the child to class 2 because automatic promotion is there, isn't it? So the child is not ready for class 2. Similarly, not ready for class 3. So whole primary classes are, which are most important, the foundations are not correct. Learning outcomes have not achieved. Competencies is next, whether the child is achieving competency or not, isn't it? We are talking a lot about competency-based education. Can you give me a simple example? What do you mean by competency? What are the difference between goals, competencies, and learning outcome? Do you think learning outcome and competency are same? Can you give me one sentence where you say that this is the competency? One example. Pre-primary. What competency you want your child to achieve? Let's take health and well-being. Yeah, play. What do you want in class 1? Any competency? If you are playing a game, follow the rules, wait for their turn, sharing, team spirit.
So it's competency is a very broad term to developing a skill, in the sense it's a broad thing like cognition, for example. Now when I'm thinking, there are a lot of steps happening. But finally, I am thinking. But when I'm thinking, I'm breaking down, I'm sorting, I am putting them in various categories. So a competency is a very broad term, what I mean to say. And underneath it, there are a lot of skills that need to be developed so that I achieve that competency for a particular activity or a project or whatever task.
Then what is learning outcome?
It's an evidence which shows that I have developed the skill which I need to develop the skill.
Okay.
Okay, basically,
So what is your goal?
at the end of the whole thing, I should be having the
Yes.
correct life skills to go through the whole process.
Can we find out 3 sentences and tell me this is the goal, this is the competency, this is the learning outcome? When you are writing lesson plan, isn't it? So you write there learning objective, learning outcome, isn't it? We define, now the competency has been added, now the skill has been added, now the value has been added. So in this concept, what value has been added, what skill the child is getting, what competency at the end the child is acquiring, and what was my learning outcome. Are they different or not? Yeah? So I'll show you the relationship. Next, please. Next. Next. We have done this. Next. Next. So this is already, I have told you, features of HPC, which is very, very participatory. Don't try to take anything. I am giving you everything. All these, all the PPT, the videos which I am planning to show you, I have 2 pen drive. One pen drive I am using, the other pen drive is for you. Same thing. So I am sharing everything. Just listen. mindfully. You don't have to take down anything. So HPC is participatory. It is very, very inclusive. It is collaborative in nature. The features of HPC. And why HPC is important than the report card? Do you think HPC is only for the child? Not for us. It is for the teachers also, because it gives you, or it reflects how the child is progressing, what is the growth chart. If the child is stagnant, if your strategy is not working, then you need to change the strategy. So it reflects to the teacher also whether the teaching learning practice is going correctly or you may need to change. Similarly, HPC also reflects something to the parents. How my child is learning, how the child is progressing, what else they can do. Got it? So it is very, very participatory. It is both for teachers, parents and the student. Student also understand how I am progressing. What is my self-assessment? First aspect of HPC is self-evaluation, self-assessment. So it is very, very participatory. Next. Next. Okay. Next. Yeah, this I'll come to. So I was trying to tell you the relationship between Nipun Bharat and HPC, Nipun Bharat and NEP 2020. Isn't it? So as I asked you, what is competency? Competencies are those statements which the child should be able to demonstrate, should know, ought to know. These are competencies. Suppose I am teaching in the class how to ride a bicycle. So I draw a beautiful bicycle on the board, label all the parts, explain you how each part works. Chapter over? Okay, then I have asked you, draw a bicycle, label the parts, how this chain is working, explain the process. Over? You have taught, child has understood, memorized each part, is able to draw, is able to label, is able to express the working of cycle everywhere, why this part is required, why that part is required. Do you think the child has achieved competency? When he or she will achieve competency? When the child is able to ride a bicycle, fall down twice, when the chain is coming out, when he can fix it up. Isn't it? So that's how the competency is, should be able to demonstrate the knowledge. That is competency. And the next step is, should be able to explore, experiment, create. Assimilate the knowledge and create something, synthesize. So that is competency. So nowadays we are talking about competency-based education. From content-based education to competency-based education. Content is bicycle, draw, label, know the process, how each part works, that is content. Do you think that is our role? It is in net, in Google, everywhere. Information explosion. Even class 1 child is able to see your YouTube videos. Isn't it? They know everything. All informations are available so easily. Universal accessibility to information worldwide. So our role has changed drastically. In our time, when we were taught, teachers have the role of imparting information, knowledge. Isn't it? Now the role has changed to facilitator. Like how to explore, how to experiment, how we can practice, and then we go up. So we are facilitator, we are playing the role of mentor, coach. So the teacher role has changed from imparting information to exploring, experimenting, taking the child to the next step and making him or her competent. Unless you are competent, you can't explore, you can't experiment. So this is the shift from content to competency. Learning outcome means if I'm at the end of class 1, my learning outcome is the child should be able to do this, do that, like that. So competent means when the child is actually doing. So it is quantitative, very objective. not comprehensive, not subjective at all. Competency is you can measure. Suppose you are playing, I asked the child to play with ball, okay? And then I asked, kick the ball in that direction. So if the child is kicking the ball in the front direction, then only child is understanding and is able to demonstrate. Walk sidewise like that, or walk backward steps. So when I say and the child is able to demonstrate, that is competency. So sidewise walking or backward step, you can show pictures and tell the child. But unless the child is able to do, it's not competency. So that is competency. So in Nipun Bharat, it has been by the psychologists and all of the educationists, they sat down together and found out 3 developmental goals. This you remember very seriously, that 3 developmental goals. Developmental goal 1 is health and physical well-being. Health and well-being. Health and well-being is number 1. So in this health and well-being, I am including everything. It's not talking about physical health only. It is talking about mental health. It is talking about socio-emotional well-being. And when I am talking about health, hygiene is coming in. My safety, my security. Am I aware about safety? Do I really respond or react to strangers or to dangerous environment or situations? So are we really training the child? So first developmental goal is health and well-being. That's very, very important. Then here we'll come up again with self-evaluation, peer evaluation, teacher evaluation and parent evaluation. That will come next. Next developmental goal is effective communicator. I think that is the most important life skill of 21st century. Unless you communicate, however knowledge you possess, if you can't convince, if you can't communicate, it is of no use. Either you communicate in first language, or if you are language proficient, when you evolve, you can converse in 2 languages, acquire 2 languages. Now we are talking about multiple languages, 3 language formula, isn't it? So language is the base for expression. So effective communicator or proficiency in language, reading, writing, listening, expressing, that is the most important. Even in 11th and 12th, however skill we are giving, we are training them in communication. Wherever they go, they have to face the challenges, they have to face the interviews, they have to prove themselves. So how should they, unless they express? Expression, mostly in language, you can express also through fine arts, through other designing and all those things, but expression is very, very important. So the second developmental goal is effective communicators. And the third one is involved learner. Involved learner means, when I am talking about pre-primary and primary, it is world around you. Here the cognitive part is coming. Are you aware about the flora, fauna, your plants, animals, people around you, the society around you? How do you respond? How do you react? So here the cognitive capacity is coming. Effective learner, involved, not effective, involved. So you are a learner, but are you involved? You are a teacher, but are you really involved? Or do you do a job, or it is your passion? Got it? Maybe 50% of us have entered into teaching as a job. But unless you get passionate, you love what you are doing, you are not involved. Daily you are coming to school, I can't tell that you are not doing your job. You are doing your job very well, but you are not involved. Got it? So when we are talking about you, adults, similarly, you can be a learner, but are you involved learner? So that is the third developmental goal. First one, health and well-being. Well-being is very, very holistic again. As we are talking about holistic progress card, this is holistic well-being. Maslow's basic need and survival, all of us we have done in B.Ed. So that is spiritual, psychological, sociological, physical, environmental, financial. Now from pre-primary stage itself, we are teaching the child, training the child in financial wellness also. How to manage finance, how to save money, how to save for the future. You know, you are getting your, mama is giving you 10 rupees, then how do you save if your friend's birthday is coming? Can you buy a gift? You won't get anything extra. So how you manage your personal finance? Right from that, financial literacy is most important skill again after communication. So that is starting right from pre-primary. So is it while you are conversing with your children in the class, do you bring into your conversation finance, environment? Do you tell your child to parent a plant? There's a very nice project in our schools, it is going on, parenting a plant. Your parents are parenting you, you parent a plant. So in the school itself, we give everybody a plant that is a herb. Either it is aloe vera or basil or rosemary or sage or ashwagandha or brahmi, anything. We give one plant. You know what they do? They measure the plant every day and come and tell the class teacher, my plant has grown this much. Every day I water my plant. You know, 2 more leaves have come up. Now 2 branches are there. So they see in front of themselves something living being, growing, prospering. So that's the kind of knowledge you are giving by telling them to parent a plant. So the child gets involved learner, isn't it? So that has to come in your communication. They are very, very small. So how holistic you are. Your child, every part of the world, maybe in your class, children are sitting. So while I am teaching in Delhi, but if I am talking about resource or raw materials in my subject, suppose my subject is economics, do I bring in resource and raw materials available in Assam or in Nagaland or in West Bengal or in Kashmir? So the children who are sitting or who are from Assam feel involved. Ma'am is talking about my part. You know, so festival, even if the festival is coming, do we celebrate all the festivals now? Recently you have celebrated Onam. You know, so in Delhi also we celebrated Onam in a great way. Though most of the children are from North India, how would they appreciate? You know, children conversed in Malayali. They learned the language. And on the stage they spoke. They wrote on the board. They did that kolam. Beautiful flower rangoli. And the sadhya was served. So that's the beautiful part, how we train our children. So when they become global citizen, they appreciate and there is mutual respect for each other's culture, language, and the socio-cultural aspect also. So that's how it has to come in. You are playing the most important part in shaping the mind of the child. By the time they come to us, who teach 11, 12, their mind is already shaped. You have done that part. You have made our life easy. So that much responsibility on you. You are really shaping and building the character of future citizen, not us, those who are teaching senior classes, thinking that we really deliver economics, maths, physics, chemistry. It won't be possible unless you shape their mind, unless you train them how to use their mind, how to apply, how to explore. That part is done by you. Then only we are able to do that. So involved learner is very, very important. Here, environment, social study, maths, everything is coming, cognitive. So remember, there are 3 developmental goals. One is health and well-being. Second is effective communicator. Here the language part is coming. And the third one is involved learner. Next slide, please. This is the part I wanted to explain you, that understanding the linkage between developmental goal, competency, and learning outcome. Now you can understand better way. So first thing is developmental goals. 3 broad goals as per stage-wise and grade-wise. I am going up to primary only. 3 developmental goals up to class 5. Later on, from 6 to 8, I'll be coming up with next developmental goal. 9 to 12, now we are working in CBSE for HPC. Just one meeting has happened. We'll be coming up with 9 to 12 HPC. So this is up to class 3 we have already piloted. So 3 developmental goals: health and well-being, effective communicator, and involved learner. In that, the competencies. Got it? What the child should be able to demonstrate. What the child should know, should be able to do. And then the learning outcome, at the end of any chapter, any project, any class, the child is able to do this. That is your outcome at the end. So this is the relationship between developmental goal, competencies, and learning outcome. Next slide, please. So this I have explained here, competency. Each developmental goal consists of competencies. Competencies are statements that specify what the child will know, will be able to demonstrate. Already I have told you. And developmental goals comprise prime learning areas. These are the prime learning areas which has been defined by the psychologist. Next. This is learning outcome. And one developmental goal can comprise of many learning outcome, multiple learning outcome. Like I said, bicycle riding. So one competency I told that the child is able to ride a bicycle, or the child is able to kick the ball in the direction which was told. The proper body, hand and eye coordination and doing all, or gross motor, fine motor activities. That is when the learning outcome is achieved already. How do we assess DGs? Okay. So developmental goal, when I'm saying health and well-being, we should provide multiple opportunities to the child so that we can assess. We are not teaching from a book. In pre-primary, there is no book at all, no textbook. Only concepts, like you do, tall and short, big and small, isn't it? Open and close. All those concepts you give, no? And then ascending and descending. These are the concepts. So you will be given with NCERT's devising, you will be giving with workbooks, assignments, and some of the concepts, covering all the domains. What are the domains? All 7. Physical, social, psychological, spiritual. Even now we are talking about digital well-being after pandemic, isn't it? Digital well-being, we are trying to minimize the passive screen uses. If you are supposed to attend the class online, you have to. There is no other way. At least we can minimize passive screen time, isn't it? And even we have advised how to keep your eyes safe, the exercise for eyes, all those things. Teachers have done that also during pandemic. So this is how do we assess DGs? Learning experiences. We have to create that kind of environment in the class so that children get experience, opportunities. Got it? You are providing multiple opportunities in the class. That leads to learning outcome, develops competencies, achieve developmental goal. So I'll explain it. This is the way how we proceed forward. In the class, like I said, water. Let's take it. So what kind of experience you can give to the children? Suppose I say, shape of water. Can you do something in the class? To tell them, shape of water. Can I take a beaker? Can I take a mug? Can I take a bucket? Can I take a tumbler? And pour water in different shapes and tell them what shape the water has. Isn't it? I take a hot water glass full of water and cover it. When I take it out, dew drops. Isn't it? I can take ice cubes. I can create steam in the class. Ice I can show. Dew drops I can show. Isn't it? I can show them on the smart board the sources of water, from where water is coming. How you can save water. You can have beautiful dialogue. How did you save water? Did you tell your mother not to throw water after washing vegetables? Can it be given in the plant? If in your water bottle water is left, can you put it in the school garden? Isn't it? So all these things. At the end, water, Swachhata and Pani, a beautiful rhyme. I'll show you that song. The whole class is singing that song. And then what is liter? What is milliliter? Which one is bigger? Which one is less? So, liter and milliliter. 1 liter, 2 liter water bottles, small container water. So you play a game. Collect all the milliliter, collect all the liter. 2 groups. This is what I mean. Got it? What are you doing? You are giving multiple opportunity to your children to gain experience. So when they are doing this, you are assessing them. Got it? Who has got the concept? Milliliter, all the children are collecting all the small ones and they are competing with each other. I'm the first one, collected all the milliliter. These are the liters. Isn't it? So saving water, this is the value we are attaching. So some of the children are very vocal, saying you multiple ways how they have. We don't serve full glass of water to our guest. It's a pitcher of bottle of water and empty glasses. However you want, you just pour it and take. So there are different ways. We don't just pour water to our plants. Nowadays different ways have come. Drip irrigation. So whenever the moisture level is coming down, that drips. So that's how. Matka cultivation. That's how we save water. So what are you doing? You are giving multiple opportunity to your children to learn, to gain experience. Isn't it? That's how learning experiences leads to learning outcome. Whatever is your outcome, you will achieve only when you give them experience. You create those kind of magic in the classroom. It's not always classroom. Take them out. In the school cafeteria also, in the canteen also, a lot of learning happens. Isn't it? In the playground also, a lot of learning happens. Are you giving them multiple opportunities? Can you sing a song also? Bring in the music teacher to the class. I'll show you a beautiful song about 7 continents of the world. The teacher with a guitar is singing and whole 40 students are singing together. Asia, Africa, America, like that. The song. I think Sanchita ma'am has seen that, no? In my school, that continent song, and there was some sensory path kind of thing. I'll show you the videos, which are beautiful. How you provide multiple experiences, opportunities, so that children gain the experience, and then your learning outcome and the children will be competent, because you are creating those kind of opportunity inside the class, beyond the class. Next. Okay, these are a few questions. Why we came up with HPC? We had our grade, we had our marks, maths 10 out of 10. Parents are happy, teacher is happy, child is happy. I have scored 10 out of 10. Does it really imply that child has gained knowledge, can apply knowledge, can explore, can move from familiar to unfamiliar, for concrete to abstract, from simple to complex? No. Marks do not define a child. I was just talking to my head boy who is in class 12, gem of a boy, very knowledgeable, said that, ma'am, our parents need only one thing. I said, what? Marks. They define us by marks. It's such a transactional, this is his wording, not my word. He said, ma'am, there is a transactional relationship between parents and child nowadays. I was taken aback. I said, what do you mean by transactional relationship? He said me, and the whole group was sitting, they're very, very candid with me. They can confine with me anything. They said, our parents say, we are teaching, you are in air-conditioned school, going by AC bus, got your laptop, you have an individual room to yourself, you have got iPhone, 5-subject tuition, got it? Spending this much on there, spending this much on there, spending this much on there. So I am investing on a product, give me return. This is transactional relationship. I learned it from my children. unknowingly, parents are doing this. If you score 100 in maths, I'll give you this. You think that you are motivating your children. You are inspiring. This is not inspiring. This is transactional. Your love, affection, everything cannot be transactional. Children are not product. So the same thing is coming to school. I don't know whether you face or not, we face that we are paying fees, why my child is failing. Got it? We pay fees, why my child is failing. So that is transactional relationship. Paying fees has no relation with the child excelling in education. Most of you are young parents here. You may be having small children. So parenting is so important. You can't learn parenting. It is natural. It depends on your own belief system. So don't define your children in terms of marks and grades. Even if your child has got 5 out of 10, can apply the knowledge, can explore, can experiment. I had a child in class 11th. We all have Atal Tinkering Lab, that is innovation lab. So this child presented 3 live projects to UNESCO director. Could speak so fluently, I was taken aback. He presented his own live projects. Now he came for Shark Tank, India Shark Tank, and presented his projects, doing very well. It was so sad, he failed in class 11. He was detained in class 11th. Can you believe? The child who can explore, who can experiment, can apply knowledge, had no writing skill. Did the teachers really work on him? I felt ashamed. I thought that I have failed myself that day when he failed. So I saw him presenting all those projects. I thought that he's a brilliant child. When the result came to me, class 11 final, he could not go to class 12. So from that day onwards, I called all the teachers. I said, you all and we all have failed. If the child has no skill in writing, did we really work on it? Isn't it? Next, the child, all of us, we paid attention. That's where the individual attention, your roving eyes works. So when I said dynamics of your class, all of you must have seen a WhatsApp video, which was very viral, that a maths teacher every day sitting after the school hours in the school alone in her desk. And the conservancy staff used to see, this teacher is always staying back. What's the point? I mean, all of them have left. So somebody asked her, what do you do staying back? She said, I try to understand each child of my class, trying to devise that pyramid. Which is the child who doesn't share tiffin with others? Which is the child who stays back in the classroom, sits alone during the recess? Which is the child who really loves music? Who is the child who really explores the visual documentaries shown in the class, flashcard is shown in the class? Which is the child who learns textually, listening? I'm talking about kinesthetic, visual, auditory learners. So she's trying to understand the dynamics of her class. Who are the auditory learners? Who are the kinesthetic learners? And then she's trying to find out multiple intelligence. How many multiple intelligence are there? 8. Whether the child is body smart, nature smart, music smart, picture smart, how? Word smart? So every child, she's trying to find out the dynamic so that when she plans the lesson plan, she will incorporate activities so that every type of learner gets experience. If you only keep on talking, giving lecture, those children who understand by seeing, visual input, you are not giving. So they will left behind. Some of the students are there who learn by doing, who have a lot of energy. We call them hyper by mistake. Hyper is a medical term, never use that. We are not authorized to use the term hyper child. You can say restless. You can say lot of energy. but hyper is a neurological disorder. So teachers mostly use this word hyper. He's a very hyper child without understanding. Got it? So if the child has a lot of energy, how can you utilize that energy? Can you tell the child distribute all the notebooks after correction? Can you take the child to monitor the corridor? So many activities are there in the classroom where you can entrust responsibility to the child and then the energy is mobilized. Isn't it? So learning by doing, visual, auditory, textual, utilizing all the 8 multiple intelligence. Even the teacher has his or her own multiple intelligence. You just remember, when you learned in school or now also, how would you prefer to learn? While I was a student in maths, my music is always on. My mother used to say, music is on, how you are doing maths? I said, yes, I can do maths hours together if good music is on. That's how. And when I want to memorize something, I just keep on walking with the book or notebook. I can't sit at one place. So I keep on walking and then I keep on reading on the terrace. That's my way. Got it? So we have our preferred intelligence, how we have learned. So what is happening that when you have learned in a specific way, you think that your children will also learn in that way because that comes very naturally to teachers. Your sociocultural belief, your belief system, your values, your attitude, how you see life. That's why the first question mine was how comfortable you are, how happy you are, whether you are in your complacent zone. How do you see life? Do you have a zest for life? How you welcome your life? Then only you can welcome your children like that. You can give a hug to a child if you really appreciate that. Somebody is patting you. Most of the time, non-verbal communication works magic in the class. Once it happened that there is a special need child and the teacher thought that giving extra attention to the child. Every time anything is explained, she used to call his name. By name he used to say, have you understood? Have you written that? Have you completed? By name. So other children thought, ma'am is teaching him only. Giving all attention to the child. And the child thought, why she is leveling me? Why always asking me? Have you completed or not? Have you understood? So it was not appreciated by any. Got it? But the teacher was doing very good work, isn't it? She thought that she is giving some special attention. Instead, if you are teaching and you are just moving and pat the child like that, well done. You don't speak anything. Just have a smiling eye. Or like that. Works magic. So your body gesture, your non-verbal communication, even somebody is talking at the back. Enough. You don't have to scold. Raise your voice. And the child doesn't feel labeled. That ma'am is scolding me in the whole class. They have a lot of self-esteem. Even class 3, 4 also. You can't scold them in front. Isn't it? So that's what we have to take care. Every child has his or her own self-esteem. So never belittle the self-esteem of the child. That happens if you have high self-esteem about yourself. If you love the way you are the unique creation of God. Do you love the way you are? Or you think, I should be little taller? मैं और थोड़ी सी गोरी होती. Nose should be straightened. I should have thick long hair. Or comparing yourself with somebody else. Why to waste time to live somebody else's life? You are unique. Live your life to the fullest. You can do that if you love the way you are. You love yourself. You are happy, contented yourself. Then you can give a holistic education to your children who are with you. Because you are so happy. A happy teacher can create a happy classroom only. We say that all of us have got challenges in our life. So when we leave home, we keep all our challenges tied off in the tree which is in front of our house. When we enter school, we leave behind all the challenges, we enter happy. Leaving school, all the challenges of school, principal scolded, coordinator pointed out, did not meet the target, lesson plan was not written, all those things. I was sitting in the class, pointed out, not corrected the paper on time, all those things. Leave behind in the school. Enter happily inside your house. Isn't it? That will be seen. Next day. World is not going to turn over. All these things can be dealt with. So, if you have life skill to deal, that's how life skill is coming. So, when I'm talking about skill, schools are hub of skill. So, if you are full of life skill, you can give those skills to your children. So, that's why teachers are so important in society. You are so important. Do you really think, value yourself that way? Or do you think 8 to 2 job? I can see my family, school, it's such a TK. In house also, if you think like that, then your household people also will take you like that. Think that in my responsibility, 200 children are there, I am shaping their character, I am shaping, building their life, and I am very important for the society. Then people will value you. So unless you value yourself, unless you respect yourself, nobody else will. Similarly, if I don't respect my teachers, who else will? We are all teaching fraternity. So we have to respect each other, give that kind of values, isn't it? So that's how it will come to the classroom. So teacher skill is imparted in the classroom itself. If you have 21st century skills of problem solving, of collaborating, of critical thinking, of applying, of leadership skill, then your children, you find, they are also empowered with those skills. Otherwise, it is very difficult. So that's why we are talking of in-service training and so many 50 hours of capacity building program, because an empowered teacher creates or raise a village itself. One teacher can bring in innovation, can bring in complete transformation in one village. One teacher. So it is said that if mother is literate, the whole family gets literate, isn't it? Similarly, if one lady is literate in one small village, the whole village will get literate. The whole outlook will change. So you are so empowered, so powerful in society. You are a powerful entity of society. Treat yourself like that. Then only you can do best to your children. Otherwise, it's difficult. Next. So this already we have discussed. Next. Yeah. So this is coming, the prototype I'll come up with. I have got the hard copy of progress card for pre-primary to class 3, so that you can see and how it is designed accordingly you can do. So when I'm talking that there is no grade, no marks, none of you asked me, then how do we assess? If there is no mark, no grade. How do we categorize? Like I said, the math teacher was finding the pyramid of her class. Then how do I assess? Parents will kill me. Isn't it? My child is going to school. You are not giving any marks, any grade. So how do I know my child has understood this kind of math or this language or this thing? Something I have to give them? How I should give? How can I categorize my students? All are not same. Isn't it? We are not teaching the same way to all children. Neither all children are same and score the same mark, or same grade, or same understanding, same comprehension, same competency. They are all different. Each child is unique. How do I reflect? What do you observe in the class? In pre-primary, when you are dealing with children, how many kinds? I mean, how do you really differentiate between children? Like I said, gifted.
Independently.
Yes, very good answer. Tell me.
Whether the child can do any activity with support or without support, independently, and also some children will go ahead and help others. So these are the small observations that we make.
Bang on answer. So what we do, that one is beginner. Abroad you must have heard, in USA, UK, everywhere, in the same classroom, children don't know. There are 3-4 tables. These are the beginner level, they are the intermediate level, they are the high. Different nomenclature. Beginner, progressing, proficient, somewhere it is intermediate, standard, high. My daughter was in UK, so mostly Indian students are in high because their maths and science and all those things are very good. So that's why they are in high. So in India, when in the classroom, 50 children are sitting, 60 children are sitting in KV. How do you do that? So you are assessing by observing. You are first of all providing multiple experiences, creating opportunities, and you are observing. Then you observe some children need complete support. They need verbal prompting or physical prompting, or you give them complete support. They are not able to do anything independently. So they are at the beginner level. Some children are there, they are able to complete the task but need somewhere some support from you. Either peer support or teacher support. Only verbal prompting can do. I mean, some children are there, continuously you have to speak to them. Complete the word, not this way, not that way. So they need verbal prompting. Some children are there, you hold their hand from there, slowly from here, and fade out. So this is physical prompting, slowly fading out. So some children are there who need some kind of support and some part of the task they can do independently. So they are progressing. So first stage is beginner, second is progressing, last one is proficient. Who are proficient? Those who can complete a task independently and they can help others, like ma'am said. They can completely, independently, they can complete a task. So they are independently self-directed learners. Teacher has given guidelines, teacher has explained, now they can do the task on their own. So they have gained proficiency, or we said that they have achieved the competency. Got it? So these 3 kinds of learners are in your class. How do you deal with them? It's not a simple task. It's a challenge, isn't it? Some are beginners, some are progressing, some are proficient. So one activity I was there observing the class is of a fruit chart. They were making fruit chart. So different fruits are there. Children are cutting it. I mean, they went to the market. I'll show you that video also. Going to the market, if there is no market in the vicinity of your school, create the market in the school. Got it? Ask every child, 2 potatoes, 2 tomatoes, 2 brinjals, 2 this thing, 2 that thing, vegetable market, or 1 apple, 1 pear, 1 something like that. So you create a market there. Got it? 100 rupees. We are going to make fruit chart. What are the fruits you are going to use, or fruit vegetable salad? So what are the fruits? How much is the price? What quantity you will buy? Get those fruits and vegetable, wash them, hygiene, peel them off, got it, and then you are cutting. Then slowly I saw one child is not able to cut the banana. It's a special need child. And during HPC, your special need children are very nicely identified because it is based on individual observation. It is based on activity. It is based on experience. So you see that this child doesn't have the competency to hold the banana and cut it. Can I facilitate the child? Yes, of course. That cutting tray, wooden tray, I just put a nail from back. Little bit was from top. Banana got fixed. Got it? Then the child was able to cut. So that's my modification. Got it? That's how innovation comes. That's how magic is created by you. So little bit thought process. How I can facilitate the child. Some of the autistic children are there who like to rock in the class. So chair can be modified like that. Instead of leveling out the child, that the child wants always to rock, how can I do that in the class? You can do that. So this is the way how I could facilitate the child. The child was able to cut all the fruits. So this is little support. I could understand that whether the child has fine motor skill, gross motor skill or not. Got it? So this is how you create opportunity in the class, then start modifying the classroom environment as per the need of the child. So HPC is very much need-based. And you identify also special need children. That's how you create. You must have done that in the class so many times as per your children. Isn't it? So need of your children. So this is how we do in HPC to assess and grade them. So how do I grade? I am not giving any mark. So the beginners are identified with smileys. Because children identify with smiley, you remember the teacher giving a star on the hand, that way the child will not take bath. This is a star ma'am has given, so it has to be there. Or a smiley on the notebook. They feel so happy. So smiley always have a positive connotation and children really relate to that. So my beginners are smileys. Got it? Then what should I do for the progressing? A flower which is blooming. So that is progressing. Got it? Tree is a symbol of growth. So that is proficient. So I have three. One is smiley, one is flower, one is tree. So all three are positive. All three have positive connotation. You are not labeling any child. Even the child is getting smiley, is so happy. So 11:30. So smiley, flower and trees are three kind of, what should I say, there is nothing, connotation to this, negative connotation to this, so children like it. And without knowing, they think that, okay, I have got a smiley here, I have got a flower here, I have got a tree here. So only the teacher knows that what is the label. This is how we assess the child, without any marks and grades. This will be successful only when you bring in parents to the classroom. 1, 2, 3, I have taken, I think, 11 to 12 orientation session for parents. They did not accept. What is this smiley? I don't know whether the child got 10 out of 10 or proficient 8 out of 10 or 7 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. They want to know, no? Because they define by marks only. So it's very difficult. What do? Roll number wise, we brought them inside the classroom and make them part of the activity. So what you're doing, the KV teachers, when at Bigyan Bhavan, they told me in front of the minister, they said, so that ma'am, in our class, 53 students. What do? How do we assess 53 students? Who has told you to assess 53 students alone in one period or in one day? It can be staggered. In your school, music teacher is there, PT teacher is there. There is conservancy staff, you have parents as your resources. Bring them in. Got it? So you will see, I'll show you the video how it is possible. The music teacher is inside, sports teacher is inside, whoever is free. If you are going to assess in your class and she is free during that time, she can come in. When she is assessing, you can help. So it is a collaborative effort. Got it? So we observe and assess individual child. So when parents came in, they saw that the child is given individual attention. They never knew how the child is getting assessed. Then we gave one activity to the parents also group wise. You assess this for your child and give us the report. So they felt that now we are a part of the assessment. So parents also felt empowered. Even we have got EWS parents, economically weaker section, or those who are not literate, where the children are first generation learners. So we had to empower them also, bringing them to the school, telling them what we are doing with their children, because this is a new system. When any change is coming, apprehension is but natural. So you have to take your parents into confidence. So you have to talk to them continuously. Initially, I also got this apprehension. When I spoke to them, they came inside the class. Now they are appreciating. Then any task is done. After that, a parent feedback. I have got everything. I'll give you the hard copy also so you can see. Parent feedback of one Google form I devised. Then I realized that all are not so tech savvy that they can deal with a Google form. Then I took the printout and sent it to parents. Then I saw that some of the parents are not literate at all. Brought them inside the school, asked them and wrote down the responses. Initially you have to do this, then it will be a success. So parents have to be an integral part of HPC because their feedback is very, very important. So what our teachers have done, in the evening, roll number wise, suppose 7 parents only, 8 to 9 or 9 to 10. They were asking what your child is doing at home. We did this task. You know, every Friday, the class 1 teachers were writing, or the pre-primary teachers, next week we are doing red color, square shape. So at the home, you are not doing yellow. It will create a conflict. So red color in the class, red color at home also, if you want to teach your child. Square is done in the class, square at home also. Got it? So if yellow color is done, some mothers are coming, they are doing mango shake in the class. All are wearing yellow color, even the teachers are wearing yellow color sari, all those things, all the objects which are yellow color are together. So we are giving multiple opportunity experiences in the classroom at home. So school and family, there is a partnership. HPC brings in family into school. So parents are a part of learning. So now parents know what is happening in the school and what way it is happening. They become a part of HPC. So they are also providing that kind of opportunity. Those who can, those who don't, then in the school you are giving, and parents go, you are telling them continuously what we are doing. So they know what is happening. Because different kind of parents are there in the school. We find that those who are not educated, those who don't know, sometimes they have a lot of life skills. They have a lot of experiences. They do better way than the educated parents. Educated parents only know to give gadgets. We will be checking our messages and LinkedIn and you be busy. You know, and taking pride. See my class 2, 5-year-old, how he is opening and how he is watching YouTube videos, keeping themselves engaged. When they come to class 10th, then only parents know that they are addicted. Then they come to us, what to do. So that active engagement with the parents, with the teacher in the class, active engagement will solve the problem. So you are creating multiple opportunities in the class and you are giving multiple opportunities for the parents also to create those kind of opportunities. Then only family and school together can work for betterment of the child. How we can assess the best way. So this is section of prototype next. I'll show one video. No, what we did in the school, the activities, what we are doing, while you do activity, our teachers keep small videos, clipping, photograph, videos in their own mobile. On the PTM, as you say, on the smart board, everything is playing. You know, when the parents come inside the class, they would like to see what their child is doing. They feel very happy. My child is participating. This is the activity which was done in the class. So keep evidence. Right in the beginning, I said, keep evidence of your work. That will work wonder for you. Parents will appreciate you. You are keeping your own evidence. When you apply for some recognition, you can show also. Document it. So keep evidence, show it to parents. Sometimes, as ma'am is asking, any activity suppose you are giving to the parents to do in the class, we give proper guideline in the teacher children's diary that this is how the activity has to be done. While the child is doing, you assess and tell us whether the child did it independently or you helped. That's the way. So the feedback form, yeah. They'll fill it up and send it to you, those who can. Those who don't, then we call them to the school, just to see. because different kind of parents are there, not all are same. So that's why that kind of opportunities you have to create. Any other question here? I can take on question. Like 3 developmental goals or competencies or learning outcome or the icons which I said that smiley, flower or trees. Anything you want to ask? Any doubt? Yeah.
My question is regarding the concept mapping that you were mentioning. Will we have a session about it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll ask my query at that time.
Concept mapping, like I told you, one example of water. How maths came in, how language came in, how music came in, how sports came in, and how the shape of water, sources of water, saving water, measurement of water, and rhyme on water, everything. That is concept mapping. Yes. So what you do, we generally do fortnight division of syllabus in our school. Fortnight. Every 15 days, 10 teaching days. Saturday, Sunday, or any festival or any holiday. Like that you have identified your division of syllabus. Every 15 days we have divided. Some schools they do monthly. Got it? So when you divide the syllabus, then your 2.5 chapters. Earlier we were doing chapter wise, now we are not doing chapter wise. So we sit together, all the books, all the subject teachers together, how many concepts that can be aligned. Interdisciplinary. There is no concept where it cannot be aligned with another language. No concept. So in the first 6 months, we I think conducted 5. But all 5 are not assessed for exam. Only 1. You have to identify one task, one activity which you are assessing, and the smiley and flower and trees have to be uploaded on CBSE portal. One activity. Rest all you are keeping record for yourself. These are informal evidence and record with yourself. If the child remains absent, suppose, the task which you have designed to assess, the child remained absent. Already you have done 4. Got it? So you can see how the child is doing, and accordingly you can assess. And one more thing is that, like I said, beginner and progressing and proficient. If the child is still progressing at the end of 6 months, the same competency will continue. You don't leave that unless the child is competent. Otherwise, you are leaving the child halfway through. If you want that minimum learning outcome the child has to achieve, before moving to the next grade, work on that till the child is achieving proficiency. Because otherwise, okay, 6 months, 5 tasks we have done, 1 task is assessed, and these children are beginner, these are proficients, and these are progressing. So those who are beginner and progressing, you need to continue with the second term, October to March, like in our case we are saying. So that's how you are continuing till the child is getting competency, because in your idea, that is the minimum learning outcome the child has to get in order to go to class 2 or class 3. So don't leave that. The child who is a beginner has to progress, has to achieve proficiency. So it's not binding on you. When I show you the progress card, you will find out so many competencies, so many learning outcome. You don't have to achieve all the competencies, all the learning outcome. You have to select the minimum learning outcome as per the child, level of the child, and then you have to select the learning outcome also yourself. So that kind of independence and flexibility has been given to the teachers. It's not binding on you. We are giving you all that these are the competencies, class 1 child, in physical and well-being, these are the competencies, these are the learning outcome. You may decide only 3. So you are working on those 3. If I find a child is gifted or very, very independent, then I can move ahead with the child. Like in senior classes also, we give different kind of worksheet and assignment to a gifted child. We give different kind of research to the child. Similarly here also, if a child is beginning, then you are working with the child. If a child is independent, already done that task, you move to the next. Got it? So you will be finding different learning outcome and different competencies have been defined to facilitate you only. You don't have to do that work. Already psychologists have done stage-wise, grade-wise, what kind of competency and learning outcomes are expected out of these 3 developmental goals. You select your one. And if you are teaching class 1A and class 1B, your learning outcome and competencies will be different than hers. Because every class dynamics is different. So that flexibility is with the teacher. You have to find out what are the competencies, what are the learning outcome, seeing your class level. How are they? Yes.
I just wanted to ask you, ma'am, because mapping of different subjects that you're talking about. So in our school, what we're trying to do in kindergarten is we take a theme. And if a theme is, we've taken as healthy food, and we're talking about fruits and vegetables, now all our activities, the teacher understands, all right now I am doing maths. So we are talking about the numbers when they're counting. We are talking about many and few, the concept we are giving with the seats. We are talking about the sizes, big and small, because that's a concept I've taught in maths. So, but at the same time, if the teacher is doing English, it's in her mind. So then she has brought in the fruits and the vegetables because we're teaching them letters. So we correlate the letter to the fruit, if it's an A or a banana or a pineapple or whichever. So we are trying to integrate and map all the subjects together. And we're still doing a gross motor skill when the children are ringing, like they're running, they can ring the fruit or something. So indoor play area we are doing, but everything is revolving around the same.
That's exactly HPC, what I mean to say, what you are doing. So when I am saying concept mapping, it is based on theme only. It is based on theme, like she has taken that, or otherwise, suppose I say body parts. How do you label your body parts? So many things can be done. Actually, one child is lying down on the floor on a mat, and children are tracing the child, actual friend, okay? Exactly the proportion and all. Then they are labeling the body parts. Then they are talking about the body parts, why they are important, what is their job. So when they are tracing, they are drawing, they are coloring, their fine motor skill, when they are talking, the language is coming, how many bones are there, which part is longer, all those things. So the science, SST, language, maths, everything is coming in. Isn't it? So that's how I'm talking, that you take your textbook, whatever you are following, and then thematically, yeah, conceptually, you have to map them. That within 5 themes or 5 concepts, I can deliver all the chapters. I'm not going, initially parents will ask that maths chapter 1, 2, 3 are not done. You are going to chapter number 6. Got it? So that chapter number 6, that concept, has been aligned with English, with EVS and other subjects. So accordingly you will progress. So basically it is thematical only, as you said. So what I mean that 5 concepts you are taking in the first term, 5 concepts you are taking in the second term. One task is only assessed formally, which you will be uploading. Got it? Otherwise, it is a continuous formative assessment. HPC is based on formative assessment. Continuous. Recording will be one task which you have designed, which is aligned interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary. You think that this is the best concept or theme on which I have to assess the children, where I am assessing the children holistically, giving multiple opportunities. Got it? If you suppose say the child can't write, like I said, the child who failed in class 11th. So the child can't write. Did I give any other opportunity to know the child? Can the child sing? Can the child make a podcast? Class 1 children were given a task of writing books, writing a book. And then they understood the concept of who is an author, who is an illustrator, who is the cover page designer, what is bibliography, and what did they refer. So it was visit to park with my mom, one child wrote. I was there that day in the class. So the children were talking about their child. It's only pencil and pen, and they were explaining their own drawing, otherwise you would not understand anything. It's stick diagram only. This is my mom, this is this thing. So my mom is walking, taking a walk with her friends. Merry-go-round is my best game. While coming back, my mom buys vegetable. I eat ice cream. There is a post office on the way. Got it? So everything is illustrated and designed two lines. Don't think about the handwriting and the grammar and all those things. Expression. So the language, so the child understands, I am an author, and so much satisfaction that I have written a book. 3 pages only. So on the book also cover page is designed, everything. So who has given input? My father helped me here. My mother told me that this flower name is marigold, all those things. So that is written, the reference given by my elder brother. This reference was given by my uncle, like that. So they understand the nitty-gritty of a book. And every child is reading out their own book. Got it? So while this child was reading, whom I observed, he was feeling little nervous. So getting fidgety, hands and all those things, it was showing. So the peer evaluation was, his best friends, one boy said, next time when you speak in the class, hands at the back. Advice given by the friend, next time when you speak in the class, hands at the back, so nobody would understand that you are feeling nervous. Why you are doing like this, like this, like this. So this is fear feedback. Beautiful peer evaluation came in. Got it? How did you spend your Sunday? Simple question. Monday you are coming to the class, circle time. How did you spend your Sunday? Is it very complex? Very simple? You know, your physical well-being, your effective communicator, involved learner. 3 developmental goals you will be assessing with all the competencies and outcome. Can you tell me how? How did you spend your Sunday? Circle time. You are asking. The child will start saying, got it? So when the child is saying, you find that some of the students, they start completely sequence-wise. Morning I got up, and then I did that, breakfast, all those things. Then I watered my plant, got it? Then I went to the market. Then I played with the friends in the colony, that park, all those things. So you can find out, or I took bath, I did that. So you will see the child is able to sequence, the child is able to express maybe 1 language or 2 language or lot of animated conversation. The child is able to animate lot of things and conversing in 1 language. The child is speaking both in English and Hindi, whatever is coming, vocabulary, first time, isn't it? And then whether the child is involved or not. I took my pet for a walk. I watered my plant. My grandfather told me a story. All of us went and saw a movie or had lunch outside. So whether the society around, other family members are coming in or not, whether the child is able to sequence, how the child is able to speak, whether using lot of language or animation. So all your 3 developmental goals are coming or not? A plain simple question. Got it? You just created an opportunity. And you assess the child and observe. She's trying to tell me something. 12? Okay, I'll stop here. Okay. Very sorry, ma'am. No, it's okay. Fine. Otherwise, I'll continue. Keep on continuing. Next will be very interesting. I'll show you all the videos.
Thank you, ma'am. We would not have stopped you had it not been for the prayer time, because it was such an engrossing session. I think everybody will second me on that. We would not like to stop it, but as it is prayer time, it's Friday. We will break for prayer followed by lunch. Please note room numbers 2 and 3 of the E block, that is, you can use the door on my left hand side, has been designated as prayer rooms. So all those who want to go for prayer, please proceed. Thank you once again, ma'am. And we will meet here sharp at 1:30. Please make it convenient to stick to the time. Thank you.